First off, how'd you spend the bye week?
I enjoyed it. We got to get out and go recruiting for 3 days. In this cycle, we were in Northern California, and that was good. We saw a lot of people, and it was good to get out and talk about our program with people.
Were you guys looking at Arkansas State? I mean, the whole 2 weeks?
Yeah, we did. We spent time on them last week, and obviously they played Tuesday night. We saw that, and we certainly got started on our game planning last week before we took off for recruiting.
Is this a team that you think you'll be able to pass well against, run well against, balance of both, or is there one or the other?
We always need to strive for that balance because when we do, we play a lot better. They're a good team. They're good up front in particular. So, like usual, to come to the O-line, being able to A, establish the run, and B, protect the quarterback. And if we can do that, then we'll be in good shape.
Is Matt looking okay and ready to go?
Yeah, I don't really watch him much, but yeah, it looked like the ball was spinning good to me.
Does Arkansas State's offense remind you of any Sun Belt teams you've played so far this year?
You know, I didn't really watch their offense, so I couldn't tell you much about it. I know 23 is a real good player from seeing them play before, but other than that, I don't know much about them.
Is there ever a drop-off in intensity after you've had a bye week, or is it maybe they're more excited to get out having not played for a week?
Seemed like today the excitement was pretty good. Sometimes where the drop-off is late in the previous week when you actually have the bye. Is when you can see that. I thought, at least I was here Tuesday, I thought we practiced good, but I thought we came out with good energy today and looked like we got something done.
Can you tell that there's fatigue when you play so many weeks in a row and then go into a bye week? Can you just tell by the next week, having guys haven't had a week off, can you tell that they're healthier, playing sharper football?
You know, what you see guys today look pretty sharp and crisp on their legs. And the other way you can tell when you're playing week to week is when you get a guy coming off injury and his legs are fresh, then you can really see how everybody else is worn out. But I don't think that we were bad. We have Tuesdays off, which was unwanted, but probably in some ways it's probably helping keeping our legs fresher.
How do you evaluate the performance of the offensive line? I guess not midway through, but through this first bye week, a pretty young group that didn't have a ton of experience and were making some mistakes earlier. Have you seen? Is it just night and day with them since the beginning of the season?
I think there's been improvement. The way I evaluate it is we have a goal board and we keep it in the O-line room for our offense, and we're on a streak right now where we've been really the fourth week in a row we've been improving on the number of goals we meet. There's a goal up there that says rush for 175 yards a game or more, and we've hit that 2 of the last 3 weeks. That to me is a big indicator that we're doing what we need to do as an offense, because if we'll do that, we'll be able to protect the quarterback better. We had an 8-sack game and a 9-sack game, which was really embarrassing in the middle of the year, but the answer to that was we've run the ball better, and it should help us in the long run. So I'm confident we're on an upswing, and we certainly need to improve it.
What have been some of the keys to the recent running game success, do you think?
I don't know if it's any one thing. We were in games where we could keep running the ball. A couple times we got behind early, and it kind of forced us to throw the ball a little more than we wanted to. We've had running backs get hot at the right time, like Jarrell got hot against New Mexico State. I think Elijah had a real good game in the second half against Aaron Duckworth against Texas State. And so we found that mix, and I think our O-line is getting better at working together, particularly in our combination block. So I would guess it's a combination of those things.
You guys have a number of running backs in the backfield that can, that get a lot of carries. Is there, do you go to a different area in the playbook when a certain guy is in to suit that person's strength?
It's a good question. Not really. We kind of have some base runs that have gotten good for us, and I think it's part of the reason we're getting good. And I really think it's more what guy is seeing things good, what guy is crisp and sharp in his cuts and is hitting the seams. I probably think it's more to than that, although there are a couple different calls that might vary, say, from Elijah to some of the other guys and vice versa. But for the most part, we'll run our core runs.
What are the biggest differences you've seen in this Arkansas State team? I know they went through another coaching change. Is it a different team than last year? I mean, obviously a lot of the same people, but different schemes, different things that they're doing on defense?
Scheme defensively is a little bit different. They still have good players. They have good speed at the linebacker core and in the back end, and that's kind of the same thing. They were probably a little more senior, junior-oriented in the D-line last year. But yeah, schematically it's different, but they still have good players, and that's the biggest thing. We're going to have to be really sharp to handle that.